This week on football, coming up in the show, we're going to be talking about Arsenal. We're going to be talking about Champions League potential winners. We've got a Kylian Mbappe stat that will blow your mind. We've got the chomp wheel to bring back out, the weekend treble, and we're going through your day one teams. Kick me off with Arsenal and why Arsenal are going to... I mean, they're going to win the Champions League, right?
No. End of discussion. Move on to the next topic.
7 games.
Yep.
Won every single one of them.
Yep.
Had some of the toughest fixtures as well. Just gone away to Inter and beat them comfortably.
We did that. Liverpool did that in a crisis season. Let me just tell you.
A crisis season? You won the league?
No.
Oh, this season?
Yeah. Let me tell you, at this stage, last year, Champions League group stages, Liverpool played 7, won 7, conceded 2 goals. When we were already qualified, we went away to PSV, got a red card, conceded 3, ended up on 1-7, drawn 1, 21 points. The way that this Champions League format is set up means that you could play a very tasty team in that last 16. There's no guarantees. We got dealt a bad hand with PSG. Not saying Arsenal will get a team of that ilk, but it can happen. And knockout football is very, very different to comfortable group stage football. So are they in the mix of the favourites? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that they don't know which one they would rather? Yeah, absolutely. And I just don't think there's... You can count on one hand how many teams go and blow teams away in the Premier League and the Champions League at the same time. They're still in the FA Cup. They're Carabao Cup.
All the competitions.
Fighting on all 4 fronts. There's a reason it's never been done before. I don't think they've got the firepower up top. Having said that, Jesus and Gyökeres both scored tonight. I don't think they'll win it.
If not, who? It was at this point last year, you can check it out, it's on Connor Cole's channel, where I called that PSG would win the Champions League. I'm going to do it again. The team that wins the Champions League this year is Bayern Munich.
I can't really find much reason to disagree with that.
I think providing Bayern don't draw Real Madrid between now and the final, I think they win it. I think Real Madrid will be ones that will go close and be really tough to beat if Bayern drew them, but I just think that's a stylistic mismatch for them. I do believe Bayern are maybe the strongest team in Europe at the moment, so I'm going Bayern. Who are you going to go for? It's not going to be Liverpool. It's not going to be Liverpool. Who's going to win the Champions League? You could say Liverpool.
In the heart of hearts, obviously, I don't think we've got enough. Just to make my case for Liverpool, it's very clear that Arne Slot is desperate for it. That PSG result still is rent-free in his head. He references it when we failed to beat Sunderland about the intensity and we should have played like PSG did against us and all this sort of stuff. So I know he really wants it. I don't know if he'll last that long to get the chance to do it.
Yeah, I don't.
And it is just, I know it's boring for everyone else and I understand it, but Liverpool Football Club have a love affair with the European Cup.
So do Real Madrid.
No doubt. No doubt.
And if the two play each other, knockout football, you said, it's very easy in a group game. Real Madrid win that tie.
Listen, I'm not sure there's any team that I'd be truly confident going up against. I'm not even confident for Marseille.
Yeah.
You know? So to say that I think we'll win it would be tongue-in-cheek. I'm guaranteed a ticket for the final in Budapest, so I'm desperately hoping. It'll be my second Champions League final in an amazing city, far better than Paris. I'd love to be there. I actually think that because of that affinity to the Champions League, Real Madrid, they just seem to just find their way through.
Yeah. 6-1 tonight. Monaco aren't great.
No.
I've watched a lot of Monaco this season. I've watched them in the Champions League and they've been really poor, really leaky. But Real Madrid do this. They go and score 4, 5, 6. So what about City? That tonight from City, I can't believe it.
We were in disbelief. Every time a goal went in for Bodo, it didn't make sense.
I thought it was in a different universe.
Just before we get onto the quality of their goals and the horrendous performance that Manchester City put in, how refreshing was it to see European referees not falling for Man City's gimmick of professional fouls or cynical fouls, but managing to get away with it.
Rodri doesn't get sent off for that if it's in the Premier League.
He wouldn't even get
He wouldn't have been on a booking. The amount of times, I don't know if anyone has noticed this, Man City aside, Josko Gvardiol is a player, I don't know why, is allergic to yellow cards, but desperate to get them. Man City don't get these yellow cards in the Premier League. Something happens in Europe, and I don't know why. Different people, different referees, they don't get away with these yellow cards. And they got found out tonight because that Rodri second one, it was stupid. And a player of his quality, Rodri's quality, knows that's a yellow card.
He was the captain tonight.
He's used to it, mate. He's used to getting away with those cards.
100%.
That's why he's done it.
100%. It's because he's on autopilot thinking, I do this in the Premier League, I can get away with it. And it's not a conspiracy. You just have to go back and watch the footage. Rodri handballed in the box at Goodison Park and got away with that when it was a stonewaller.
Rodri gets away with murder.
Right, I don't know if he's a really nice guy. I don't know if he's got photos of the referees' wives.
Mate, there's a thing about quality. When a player is that good, referees do have this aversion to giving them yellow cards and sending them off.
It's almost like because it makes the referee then the bad person because they've done a naughty.
And it's also like, oh, he can't have done that on purpose. He's so good. I can't believe he would need to. He wouldn't do that. I won't give him a card. Yeah, but yeah, I think City tonight that's one of the biggest shock results of the season. That Definitely. I cannot believe.
Well, it is, but is it because of how poor they've been? Take United were fantastic on the weekend, but once again, you do have to just give a little sort of bit of airtime to how bad City were compared to what we expect from them. City, Man City, any 11 that they put out are still going to be half decent, but they were poor then. They were poor. More than poor tonight. They just had nothing. I'm going to put something to you.
Go on.
Is amongst the 115 charges, amongst the downfall in consistency and powerhousing their way through leagues, they've not had their way for a couple of seasons in the way that they'd like to, either being pushed close or whatever. They've now got a new challenger in Arteta. That's Pep's minion. Is he trying to find a way out naturally before either getting the boot?
He'll never get the boot. City won't sack Pep.
He shouldn't. But do you think that there's a little bit of almost like, because the whole thing with his wife, then they've got this massive cloud hanging over them. Clearly not too much because they're signing players for millions of pounds. But is there that sense of that he's given up?
No.
He's taken it as far as he can.
Pep's too much of a winner.
But
Pep's a psychopath. He is everything in Pep's head is how do I win a game of football? There is not a single % of me that thinks he'd throw the towel in.
He's always seems to find a way. And okay, he signed Gay and he needs to shore up his defence, and he's had a bit of bad luck in the back four with those injuries, but. Tonight and against United, they didn't look like they had a plan B, C, D. They didn't really look like they had a plan A.
I would say most of the season has almost looked like that. If Haaland doesn't score, City struggle to win. So there is something in that. If you keep Haaland quiet, which is easier said than done, but you keep Haaland quiet, you've got a good chance of beating City at the moment because they're not great defensively.
He scored 1 in 7.
It's his longest. I think it's his longest streak without scoring a goal.
And it's obvious to say, but it's then no coincidence that they're not winning games. And like you said, it's a blueprint.
Yeah, you keep Haaland quiet.
And so where do you go from that? Because you cannot drop Erling Haaland. You cannot try and find a system that doesn't involve him. So what does he do?
Pep has mentioned quite a few times that Haaland needs a rest. Rest him then.
But he
went
can't.
into the game tonight against Bodo. It's like you've got a great opportunity to rest your star man for the weekend. I know it's Wolves at the weekend, but still go and rest him, because right now, Champions League against Bodo, your team that you put out, I know they didn't win, but with or without Haaland, it's good enough to go and get 3 points there. Wolves at the weekend, with Wolves upturning form a little bit, you do think that Haaland needs to be fit and firing to go and blow them away, and then maybe City get back on track. If you want to rest a player, I'm sick of these managers saying these players need a rest. They need a rest. There's no time for rest. There's too many fixtures. Fucking rest them then.
Especially when you've got the perfect opportunity.
There is so many opportunities. The squad sizes of some of these teams, City in particular, I do not want to hear Pep. I don't want to hear Arteta. I don't want to hear any of these top managers, particularly Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe not so much. I don't want to hear them saying that they need time, they need to manage minutes and things like that. Manage the minutes. You have the opportunity. And if you're saying to me that you can't afford to rest your players against a side like Bodo Glimt because you're worried about the 3 points and your squad's not strong enough, you just spent £1 billion. Right. You don't get to say that. That's
the overriding factor, isn't it? That if you've obviously had a hand in the recruitment and the planning for that season, there's no way a team with the infrastructure of Man City have gone, well, it's Haaland or bust.
It can't be.
They have to have a contingency.
You've got Marmoush on the bench. I know he's just come back from AFCON, but
and with Haaland's injuries, it's not like they wouldn't have already had it in their thoughts.
And again, it's another opportunity for Pep to try something out. Right, it's not working at the moment. Let's try something out. Let's play Cherki in a false nine. Let's play Phil Foden and Cherki forward. Let's get Doku. Doku's on the bench. Like, I don't really get when managers say this. I do agree there's a lot of fixtures, and I do understand that it's a lot of pressure on these players. And I don't agree with the argument that, they get paid enough, because it doesn't matter how much you pay someone. That doesn't mean that they can do more physically. The problem is the managers are blaming the fixtures, and then the moment they get the chance to rest these players, they aren't, and then they're complaining. They'll also
have them in training morning and afternoon, 5 days a week.
Yeah,
give them an afternoon off a couple of days before the game.
Yeah,
just rest them like that.
We know the intensity of these training sessions.
They are top level athletes, more so than probably any other sport, because they are macroed on everything they eat. Every training session is tailored to them. If you can't play a couple of games in a week, forget the money. I understand it's stress on the body, and I am not one to talk about fitness. But I think the players tell you, I want to play in every game.
They're always going to say that. But as a manager...
But I think they mean it.
I fully believe they do.
And I think it's because they believe that they can play it.
Yeah, but the managers and the fitness... the coaching staff, everyone's got to look at it and go, right, we need to manage these minutes, because sooner or later injuries will start popping up. And if Haaland gets injured, that's City out of every competition. They're not going to win anything. Thomas Frank.
Before we do Thomas Frank, I'm going to be professional there. If you are liking this video so far and all the other videos, I'm going to get it in early. Just subscribe to us. We usually wait until 40 minutes. And we don't expect you all to be.
We don't like pushing it. I don't like pushing it.
You don't like it, but,
because if I'm watching a video and I'm watching some guys, and even if I'm liking the video and they say to me, go on, like the video, I'm like, mate, just let me do my own thing. But like the video, subscribe.
Like and subscribe. That's it. Thomas Frank.
It helps. Yeah, Thomas Frank. There's a very good case to be had that Thomas Frank was on the brink of losing his job after tonight. The clause in his contract, most likely in his contract, and a lot of managers' contracts, suggests that it is a performance-based, and a team may be able to get rid of a manager if they don't qualify for a Champions League, if they don't achieve certain goals. Thomas Frank will have a payout if they get rid of him early. If they did get rid of him before tonight's game, because he was still in a decent position in the Champions League, they would have had to pay more. There is no way Thomas Frank should not have been sacked after that West Ham game. I love Thomas Frank, and I think the appointment was great. Everything about it feels so right. I have no idea what's going on at Tottenham, but the fans are all out against him. The club is not going to be happy with their performances. Where they sit in the league, the performances have been drab, dire. They can't score goals. They're conceding goals for fun. Thomas Frank should have been sacked after that West Ham game. He hasn't been sacked. The only reason Tottenham haven't acted is because there is a clause in Thomas Frank's contract, I believe, that suggests that the payment that he will then receive is a lot higher. I don't think they expected to go and beat Dortmund that comfortably this evening. It does leave a little bit of a quandary now. Tottenham are sitting pretty in that Champions League table right now. Do they get rid of him?
if they were to learn from every other team that's done this recently, particularly Man United, holding on to a manager for just a little bit too long and then having to redo the whole process in a like retrospectively and fix everything, they should still get rid of him.
Do you think they're signing players based off Thomas Frank's suggestions or his plan? Because Conor Gallagher it's a decent signing, I think, for Tottenham.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change. It's not going to transform them. You know, they're still lacking. I like Dom Solanke, but if Tottenham want to be where they want to be, he's not the man to lead the line for them. You need a guaranteed, prolific, proven 15 to 20 goal a season player. I'm not saying he can't be that.
Solanke's capable. I mean, he showed he's capable.
As I say, I like him. I like him. He's a good finisher. He's got a good attitude. He's a likeable guy. But if they could put Richarlison's ego and attitude
in Tom Solanke,
what a Solanke, they'd have their solution. So I was listening to TalkSport the other day.
Corkstein.
Shoot me down. Talk shite, some people call it. And there's a Spurs fan on there, and I really like listening to him. He was on for 2 or 3 minutes, and he said that they don't know what they want to do anymore because they've had your all-star Jose Mourinho, Antonio Contes. They've had the up-and-coming, unproven Ange Postecoglou's, and Thomas Frank is then the middleman. Nuno. They've had the middleman, which is proven in the Premier League, but not at a top club. They don't know where to go, and so he was pinning it not on the managers, not on the board, because they all wanted Levy out for such a long time, and then he left, and it's still as bad as it was. They are now putting it all on the players, and so, or he was putting it all on the players. I with the situation that Liverpool are in at the moment, I think that is the way to go. I think you put it on the players, and you and so if they
effort or
just effort, desire, passion.
That Tottenham team, and I'm going to go back to front. I know they don't like Vicario.
He's a good keeper.
Romero and Van de Ven is a top quality centre half partnership. Pedro Porro is one of the best right backs in the league. Whether you agree or disagree based off this season is irrelevant because he's been brilliant for a few seasons. Destiny Udogie was, I thought, really good the last couple of seasons. I think Jed Spence is good.
When he's filled in, yeah.
Pellegrini is a phenomenal signing. Bentancur is a proper player. Javi Siemens is a really, really good player, and I think he's got a lot of potential. Mohamed Kudus is a threat every time he touches the ball. Dom Solanke scored, 17, 18, 19 goals in the Premier League in a season. How is that the player's fault? It's got to be a system.
Which I also agree with. And I think you've got the whole playing for the manager thing, in which that comes down to the manager then not getting the best out of your players and not making them believe in your philosophy. But I think as soon as you're against one person and one person only, and you leave that buck with them entirely, you lose sight of actually what is going on the pitch. And I've said this a million times before. If you are a professional footballer that have made the 1 in a million move from grassroots to youth academies, and then you've made another 1 in a million move from academy to full team, you've got big money transfers, you should be able to manage a game on the pitch. And I understand that they tell you things. I don't know if you've seen the clip really quickly of Arne Slot on the touchline with Curtis Jones.
Yeah. Didn't look good, did it?
Of course it doesn't. Curtis Jones in that moment is basically saying, you're telling me that where you want me to go is the same thing as what I've already been told. So what, to me, he's saying, I know what I'm doing.
What does he say?
He says, what position? And then he throws his arm down and says, it's the same position. Frustratedly. So I think what Slot's trying to tell him to do is, right, you get in there. And then he's saying back to him, it's the same position as what I've already been told. Or maybe it's like you go in for him and you say, well, that's the same position. They know. That proves to me that they know that it's wrong. You are never, as a professional footballer, at risk of losing your job for going against a manager and saying, how many times have we seen game winners that have come from people popping up in positions you'd never have them, or doing things? Vincent Kompany, Pep Guardiola would admit to you, he would say, do not shoot that. He's taken it upon himself to go, do you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you're right.
And so why can't 11 players collectively, the captain, Romero, say, fuck him.
Yeah.
I can see how this game's playing out. You fucking bomb it forward. You drop back. They know how to do that. I'm not saying that the manager should get no blame whatsoever. And I'm not saying Thomas Frank should keep his job. What I'm saying is if they're going to stick with him, the fans need to stick with him.
Once you go, I said to you, I think early in the season, once you go against the fans, it's over. And I know it was an accident and it wasn't meant, but the Arsenal Cup, it's just these things add up and the fans will never get on board. I just don't see the fans ever accepting Thomas Frank now. And I think that just means one thing.
However, what are football fans more than anything?
Fickle.
He puts on a run of 2-3 games.
Yeah.
They get a decent draw in the Champions League. All of a sudden,
but they won't.
But we don't know that. That's all ifs, buts, and maybes. I agree. Listen,
do they finish in the top 10?
Just to reiterate, Thomas Frank, and I like him, but he should be nowhere near that Spurs job right now. They should be gone. Take the losses.
He should have gone.
Take the losses in the new year. Move on to someone else.
Yeah.
But they haven't, and now, regardless of clauses or not, they put themselves in a really difficult position because they now either have to sack him off the back of a decent win in the Champions League and being in a strong position, or they stick with him and run the risk of there being a few extra results that just tip the balance, and then they're kind of 2, 3, 4 games behind when they could have already been doing it. I don't know the answer. I just know that from my own perspective, Slot is losing the fans and he is losing the dressing room. It's very clear to see, but you do have to put responsibility on the players as well. Regardless, it is your job to go out there, forget your manager, forget the hysteria around it. There are 60,000 people in that stadium paying to watch you play football and millions around the world that give up their weekends and life to follow you. You're playing for them, to impress them, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure Thomas Frank would say, wouldn't say to maybe whether it was Polinia or Bentancur pass backwards in that situation, because the amount of times they were passing backwards when they were building attacks is so frustrating. That's what the Spurs fans got on his back. I'm sure Thomas Frank doesn't drill that into them. Oh yeah, when you get to that point, pass it backwards.
Do you know what I can't believe is after that footage came out of, can't remember the two it was, but refusing to shake his hand, which we're talking
I didn't like that.
Months ago.
Was it Mickey van der Ven?
And there was someone else as well. There's two of them.
Yeah.
But that's a couple of months ago, you know?
Jed Spence.
Why are they sticking with him after that? That's just plain and obvious that something's wrong.
There is something weird about managers and not buying into philosophies. There is a lot of unprofessionalism around, and I think we've seen it with Tottenham there. I think we saw it with Man United not fully buying into what the manager's system is. I think we've seen it really clearly with Real Madrid. You've got a manager who's a phenomenal manager, a brilliant coach. He's proven himself at Leverkusen, done one of the most unbelievable things at Leverkusen, and the players didn't buy into it. Mbappe led that dressing room, not Xabi Alonso. Vinny, something about these big characters, they weren't having Xabi Alonso, and they were almost like, I'm not listening to him. The moment he's gone, Arbeloa has come in, and all of a sudden they all look free. They could score 6 or 7 goals, which they have done tonight. There was an Mbappe stat I wanted to say to you, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, because I know a lot of people in Spain, a lot of people do really critique Madrid's favouring in terms of refereeing decisions. This Mbappe stat was quite concerning considering where we are at the start of the season. A new record has been set. A new record has been set. Kylian Mbappe has just become the first player in La Liga history to be awarded 13 penalties in just 26 games. The previous record was held by Ronaldo with 12 penalties in 26 games. Is it a fluke or a coincidence that it's both Real Madrid players getting, and big name players in La Liga getting given these penalties? You see it every week. Mbappe scoring a penalty.
There will be so many people, whatever we say about this, that will come into the comments and say, but it's Real Madrid, so they've got more attacking players, so they therefore will be in the box more, and they're tricky, skillful players.
Valid point.
I
would say valid point.
But when there's an anomaly so high, I come believe it or not, I come from a fairly decent mathematical brain. So if you put that on a pie chart or on a graph, and you saw how much of an outlier this way to you guys, it would be in the top right for whatever. You have to take notice of those
massive
as an anomaly. It doesn't help that it's both Real Madrid players.
And Real Madrid are notoriously known as a team that gets beneficial decisions in their favour when it shouldn't. I would say, conversely, I saw a lot of decisions in the last couple of seasons against Madrid that should I mean, Bellingham was getting absolutely
battered.
I was getting killed by the referees. And so I do see it both ways. There is something about this stat that makes me think, I don't like how it looks.
It's Perez. He just brings so much controversy with how he does business.
Power.
And he's got that I'm really sorry. He's got that Trump Epstein type vibe of having so much power, so much money. It's almost like, have you ever seen Billions? The Bobby Axelrod. They've got that ego of, I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want. And I've had a big thing about not necessarily match fixing as a whole, but taking favourable payments or...
Definitely happens.
It doesn't have to be financial as in a one lump sum. It could be, we've got a nice property that you can make lots of use of, or we're going to make a very charitable donation to something.
Indirect.
Right.
I do think on the match fixing thing, I think it's damn near impossible to fix a match in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to fix markets as a player.
Yeah. Individuals.
Fouls, corners,
Yeah.
cards. I think we've seen that allegedly with Lucas Paqueta. The more I think about that Paqueta thing now, I was thinking the other day, Paqueta's pushing a move to Flamengo. Why on earth, when you're at that age, at that high of a level in the Premier League, would you want to go and play in the Brazilian League? No offence to the Brazilian League. You're at the peak of your powers. You've got the opportunity maybe to even go to City, to sort your family for life. Does he know something's coming?
I would say so.
Because he's been investigated for something before. Then that red card, which was the most weird red card I've seen, it was asking to be sent off.
And the tweet after it.
There was something I said to you at the time. He's either really in trouble, and this might not be a thing where he's got control of the situation. It might not be that he wants to move. It might be that
someone's advising him, get out.
He's in trouble with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because we saw it with Paul Pogba. It does happen. He was in trouble with the wrong people for doing certain things and not swaying a game in a certain way or whatever he might have done. There are bigger issues that we don't see in the sport, and
which in a way I really don't like that we don't see them. And I know it's obvious. It's to protect people and individuals and institutions, and the corruption claims would be rife in the press and all that sort of stuff. But that's what we miss in football, is transparency about everything. Everything's a cover-up. You look at the City, you look at the Partey whole going to Spain and all of a sudden he's ill and all that sort of stuff. And you know, it's as people, again, devote their life to it, we as fans deserve more transparency than anyone else, more than the law.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to know what's going on. So I don't disagree with you whatsoever. I don't know if I'd go really down the route of saying that Real Madrid managed to fix matches, but can they influence them?
Can you influence a referee is the question. It's not that you fix a match because you've got 22 players that you're having to control, which isn't, it's not viable. Can you control the decisions of one man? That is a lot more likely. That man might not be payments. I don't think that money is the influence in a lot of these situations. I think we saw something very similar in AFCON, where you may have a situation where a player, a referee, an individual is threatened with their safety.
Family safety.
That is a motivator to do anything. And I don't care what you say, Brahim Diaz could be offered all the money in the world. He's not dinking that down the middle to miss it on purpose if he's offered money. If there's safety concerns, which there were a lot of reports coming out that maybe Senegal had a faction of fans that were going to go after him, and it was suggested to him on the pitch, do this or something's going to happen. I don't know. We don't know. But
It
I
happens.
think that's the biggest influence. I don't
happens.
think it's financial. When I look at that stat and just remind myself, 13 penalties in 26 games, that is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
When you think some teams go seasons without getting a penalty, and that's not over. That's not.
It's not an exaggeration.
A team can go at least 20, 30 games without receiving a penalty at all.
Yeah.
To get one in half of your games is mental.
I don't like it. Let's go to our day one league. Just recap on a few players that we want to point out because we haven't done it in a while. And
No, we haven't actually.
there's 3 players who have just been in and amongst it all season.
My boy.
In third place currently is Hamza Al Sharif with 1,247 points.
Classic.
In second place
A Jim for John.
is a Jimmer for John with 1,249. There's 2 points in between
That's
second
nuts.
and third. Top place at the moment is Rob Devereaux on 1,280. That is literally one round of fixtures away from swinging completely. So
But they're also outrageous totals.
it's more than my normal team.
Outrageous.
I've triple captain, I've wildcard, I've bench boost, I've wildcarded again. I've brought out players that have been injured, and these guys are still above me on my normal team.
If any of you 3 are watching, which we still don't know because we never comment,
Nobody's.
I want to get you here.
Yeah,
I
you're-
want to
you're
speak
invited
to
on.
you. Any of you 3. If you want to come forward, we will get you on the show to talk us about your genius.
Talking of genius, weekend travel time.
Time.
We both lost last week. I missed by a goal. The goal that I needed was in the Manchester derby. I had over 2.5 goals. It was 2 goals. You missed by a Wolves goal, which meant we lost £10 on our totals. Both you are minus £11.67 for the season. I'm still plus £55.57 for the season. So if you want solid tips, back me, obviously.
I've got solid tits.
My weekend treble this week is QPR versus Wrexham over 1.5 goals. I've got Madrid over 1.5 goals away at Villarreal. And I've got Bournemouth versus Liverpool over 1.5 goals in the game. £10 on, returns £24.11. Who have you got?
I've gone with a double chance. Celtic double chance. Celtic or draw against big game against Hearts.
Massive game.
Huge game. Martin O'Neill seems to get a tune out of them. Atalanta to beat Parma at home. And there to be over 2.5 goals in the Auckland Central Coast Mariners game.
You're going early. You're going morning kickoffs.
Like 6:30 kickoff.
Jesus.
£10 on that returns £30.68.
Lovely. Because we both lost,
Yeah.
the weekend treble normally decides who does the chomp for the week. Got some belting chomps last week, by the way. If you haven't checked out the video, it's on my TikTok at Alex Goalpost. Some amazing chomps on the Arsenal fans last week. I think there's 250 comments I couldn't approve because they were just too much. There were death threats, there were death wishes, there were wishes for harm to your family. It was really serious. That is as brutal as I've seen a comment list.
Alex said to me yesterday or the day before, I mean it, Brand. You can never go to the Emirates.
It's true. Like, seriously, you can't go. It
too
could be
emotional.
me. It could be too emotional. It could be me this week. We're going to spin the chomp wheel.
We are.
This week's chomp, shall I read it out? Whoever gets to do the chomp this week has to read out the following. Man United will win the league. Carrick's form at Middlesbrough when he started was unbelievable. Carrick won 16 of his first 23 games at Middlesbrough. If he wins 16 of his 23 games at Man United, we win the league. If we beat Arsenal at the weekend, we're only 12 points away from them. No Europe, no cup competitions. We've got the best player in the league in Bruno Fernandes. We're going to win the league. If I get that. If you get it, since you're a Liverpool fan, you're going to have to say, I think you're going to win the league. I don't want to say it, but I think you're going to win the league.
Talk about never being able to go to the Emirates. I won't be able to go to Anfield.
We like to do a couple of practice spins on the chomp wheel because it always lands on.
Mainly because
Me?
Alex thinks it's rigged.
It is rigged. Corruption. There's Vince.
Just whilst you're doing that, can we just give a nod to the A-League again? Who's give a nod to it?
I want to give a nod to the A-League. Just landed on you. Counts. The best league in the world right now?
It is entertainment beyond belief. It is free-flowing football. It's got
direct, mate.
It's got drama in the production. The production of the football fixtures in the UK, particularly the Premier League, is diabolical. They don't want to show the game. They don't want to highlight the right points. They're too scared to talk about anything controversial. As you can imagine with Australia, there's no rules.
Everything's out the window. They were one of the first to introduce touchline interviews during halftime, and you got some unbelievable, like honestly, cinema.
But they do it in the right way. It's not forced. Yeah. It's not, and because they do it in such a good way, the people being interviewed seem more than happy to give their opinion on this. They'll stay there. I watched one the other day where the interviewer was trying to get rid of the manager and he wanted to carry on talking.
Yeah.
You know, these days in the Premier League, it would be, yeah, fine, cool, bye. And they're off.
The managers love it. The managers are some of the best bit about the A-League is there's so much drama, there's so much controversy, and the managers are always at the heart of it. You've got proper staple names of the A-League. The amount of goals in the games is unbelievable. It's like I said, they are direct. Everyone wants to score goals. They're not thinking, oh, let's tap it around the back four. No, everything's going into the box. Get it into the box, try and score a goal. I love it.
It's not chess, it's fencing.
It's duels,
it's jousting.
Yeah.
Going at each other all the time.
If you haven't checked out the A-League, we're not sponsored by the A-League. We just absolutely love it. Saturday mornings, every Saturday morning, you're going to catch a game on TNT. It is well worth watching. It's great fun.
And it's not like, you tune into Match of the Day in the morning because it's your football fix. It's quality entertainment.
Jeez.
If there's anyone from the A-League watching, James McGarry,
nod to James McGarry. Thanks for the follow. He loves it. James McGarry loves our content, and he's in the A-League ripping it up. And he's going to be at the World Cup this year.
Him.
And we love him. And we want you on the podcast.
And we love Lockie Rose, and we love Costas Barbarouses.
Yep.
And we love
Lockie Brook.
I
like Jesse Randall this season. I think he's fantastic.
Rufer, I like. Eze, I like him.
Keltak.
Who's the winger? Clayton. Clayton.
For who? I know.
I want to say it's Brisbane, but it's not. Anyway, someone Clayton or Clayton something. Tricky as anything. Eli Adams.
Wonderful
left foot.
Yeah.
We love you all.
Eze this season.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Should we spin this wheel?
Yeah, sorry. Just wanted to get that on there.
Do you want to spin it?
Yeah, I'll spin it this week. You keep her steady there, boy.
That's such a soft spin.
Yeah, sorry. Who was it?
You. Give it. I'll give you.
Because that was.
Yeah. Give you a proper spin. The arrow's moved. It's not going to stop. It's me.
Quite conclusively, Alex. Thank the Lord, by the way. But the thing is, right, you've written that chomp hoping it's me, but also very conservatively knowing that you can sell this, which might make it better. I was going to say I should have written one for you, but I mean, that's bad enough. You should get so much heat for this. And you know the script already. How do you want me to be? Do you want me to be not over the top, but do you want me to be like, or do you want me to?
I think.
Or should I get angry at you?
I think play it how you want, but I would say that you can react genuinely to this because you know Man United aren't winning the league.
No, but if you convince me that you believe it, which I think you might.
So we've got Carrick form, 16 in 23. We beat Arsenal next week at the weekend.
My nipples.
We got 12 points off. No Europe, no cup comps. Full focus on the league. And the best thing of all, we got the best player in the league. Okay. Get my chomp face on.
Is that your sex face?
You're going to start off and go, you think United are going to win the league?
Okay.
I got it. Okay, well, don't make me laugh then. Okay.
One win against City, and I think you actually think you're going to win the league.
I don't see why we don't. Mate, listen to me. All this hype around this game, it's not a one-off, it's not a fluke. Look at what Michael Carrick did at Middlesbrough. His first 23 games, he got 16 wins. If he gets 16 wins with United, United win the league. United win the league.
If no one else wins a game.
Forget about that. If we beat Arsenal at the weekend, we're 12 points off them. Mate, we're talking about Arsenal serial bottlers. Forget about that. The best thing of all, we have the best player in the league. We have the best player in the league. If you disagree that Bruno Fernandes is not the best player in the Premier League, Brandon, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind.
So why haven't you won a league before with Bruno Fernandes?
Because we've not had the right manager. I'm telling you, Michael Carrick has come in. He's done exactly what he's going to do. That Middlesbrough job that he did, forget about the second season. That first season, we're talking no cup competitions. We're talking no European competitions. Full focus on the league. 23 games. He won 16 of his first 23 games at Middlesbrough. And he took them from a 17th place side. Why can't he do that at United? He's got better players. He's got the best player in the league. He's got the best fans in the league, the best stadium in the league. Man United win the title. And I'm calling it here now. 200 to 1 with the bookies. I've checked. I've got money on it.
You haven't.
I have.
Any credibility that we've ever had on this podcast, which is quite a lot, we're really popular, gone out the window.
Yeah, it's not going to last. Guys, thank you for tuning in once again.
I put that in just in case people have... You don't have to put that in the clip, but if people have watched us and seen the shite that we talk, I was hoping that would be an extra.
I've got a lot of heat for suggesting that United should be top of the league at one point this season.
Going on to actually win it.
Going on to win it. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next Monday, next Wednesday, and every Monday and Wednesday until the rest of the season. Was Goalposts, Alex Goalposts, Listen on the Go, Spotify, Apple, Goalposts.
I think there's just one more thing.
One more thing.
I love you.
That felt creepy. I felt weird.